Darren Capes recently went to the equivalent of the TTF Autumn update in Ireland, and we said to this man that he needed to come over to do our version, or we'd send Darren again next year. So, by the way, Darren Capes, I was recently enjoying a glass of port with Darren in his office in the DFT Towers. And it's huge, by the way. I guess it's to do with TTF. And he said I would do this job for free. So we do share a line manager. I will be passing that on. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome all the way from Ireland, it's David Laoide-Kemp.
Thank you very much. Actually, I'll work out that one then. There we are. It's got a very good system here to set you up. Thank you very much. Yes, that is true. Darren did come to our ITS Ireland annual conference last week and as a keynote speaker, and he did a very good job, I have to say. So we might actually invite him back next year. Maybe. There you go. He'd be very welcome. But yes, part of the deal was that I come to you today, and I'm happy to do that. But there is a sort of a caveat to that, or terms and conditions. My day job, as it says there, is Senior Engineer of ITS, Transport Infrastructure Ireland. I'm also the Chair of ITS Ireland, so I'm here. Really, what I'm going to do is give you an update of what's going on with the various projects and strategies going on in Ireland. It's a selection. It doesn't necessarily encapsulate everything. I put it out to the ITS Ireland members that I was doing this, so I've got a selection of projects which I'm going to show to you. I don't know or understand all of them, to be fair, so I might, if there are any difficult questions, I might have to say I don't know, but I'm going to give it my best shot. I know a lot about most of them, just to be fair, but I thought it was fair to our members to show as much that we're doing as possible. And I may have an answer to Steve's question about user engagement. So yeah, ITS Ireland, if we're similar enough, I suppose, to ITS UK and other national bodies. We're a national ITS advocacy body. We're not a lobby group. And we advocate the usage of ITS just to make our transport systems more usable and efficient and so forth. So we've been around now for 15 years. We are looking to potentially expand our remit over the next year or more, and there'll be more on that maybe sometime in the future. But these are exciting times, and we've got a lot of, we should say we're a board of volunteers as well. Obviously I have my day job, and as do all the other board members, but we feel we've done a good job and punched above our weight, certainly over those 15 years. I love showing this infographic. I won't go into it in any detail, but this was done by a great company, funnily enough, from New Zealand. That's the one we found, but shows you it's our way of showing what systems exist up on the, if you like, the surface, but also what all the underlying systems are to make all that magic happen. So there's a lot of, we've done a lot of work in part of that advocacy remit. Another brief thing, we're small enough, we have 78 members, 38 corporate members, 8 associate members, which is a kind of a smaller corporate, and we also have about 14 government public service members, and we got 3 academic members and some 15 individual members. And the conference that Darren attended last week, we average about 100 plus every year, and we're hoping that'll increase over time. So given what the last presentation was on, I'm going to talk briefly again. What I'm going to go through is each of these briefly, but just to give you an insight into them. And then if you have either questions now, or I can point you to the originator of all of these to get more detail, feel free to come to me afterwards. I think my email address is actually on the presentation, so you can send any queries to me. So like the UK. We're part of Sea Roads. We've been in Sea Roads since I think about 2018, around about then. We joined a little bit late, and part of that was to run our own pilots. We have our own Sea Roads Island pilot, which actually finished at the end of last year, and it went very successfully. And talking of actually users, kind of the people at the end of this, the people who get use out of this. Part of this was to install, I think, 60 kilometres of roadside units to communicate with connected vehicles. I think there were 74 roadside units, but we also had cellular coverage, which covers a much larger portion, technically the entire country, but we only focused on some of the major routes in Ireland. And the project involved having roadside units communicating with onboard units that we supplied to the user, and also an app that also communicated with the roadside units and got the data and information that was being presented directly from our Motorway and Operations Control Centre. So we actually had 1,000 users, and these were, we put out an advert to get members of the public. We had friendly users, we had our own people involved in the project, but I'd say the vast majority, probably 90% of those, were actually people, volunteers, who saw the advert or had an interest in it. So we got a lot of feedback with the drivers that we were talking about earlier, and extremely positive ones as well. I think there wasn't a single negative response to all the various questions that we put to them. Clearly people are keen to get this information and get that information into their vehicle to help them make their journey more efficient and so forth. On the back of that project, we were also part of another European project called Meridian, and in that we're also deploying, or have been deploying, further CITS units in Cork. So if anyone's familiar with Cork, we have the N40, which is the southern, I suppose, southern part of the ring road that feeds into the Jack Lynch Tunnel and then heads north. A very popular and heavily used part of the Cork network, and we're in the process now of deploying further roadside units in that location. So what we're going to do is replicate from the Sea Roads Island project and have volunteers and have people with connected vehicles getting information in the Cork region as well. And it should be pointed out that we're also working heavily with the likes of Swarco and Capsh and Comsignia to deliver those products. So that project is still moving on, and we hope to get better results later on next year. We're coming up, sorry, these buttons are, just note, press them hard, whoever's on next, press them hard. Another project, one of our members, Ronan O'Donovan, they're a transportation consultancy in Ireland. They do a lot of work with AECOM as well. They've been involved in this PIARC study using artificial intelligence in the road sector. It's an international one. Will this one work? So the next one is, there we go. Maybe I'll just point it to you and then it works. Yeah. So this is a global project using AI covering the full life cycle of road infrastructure. So it's about using AI to not only inspect the infrastructure but improve road safety and road operations. And the work, as I say, is global, and certainly some of the take-homes there, you can see the key benefits there. Enhanced road safety, 42% reduction in bus accidents in India, 99% of incidents detected within 5 minutes in Peru, 35 times or 39 times reduction in costs, for pavement condition assessment, and this is all using AI to analyze existing data and spot and improve on efficiencies. So I don't know much about the project myself, but as I said, if people are interested in that or aware of it or whatever, please get in touch with me and I can provide more information. There's also a data fusion project, which we're working with our control center, Valoran, supporting us on this. It's using data fusion, live data source from various different sources in order to make improvements to our existing ways of managing the road network. So there's some fairly significant sort of figures in there. If you see that, improved detection time, 25 minutes on average. Events were detected quicker. I think this will, I'm not sure if someone's from Valoran here, but I suspect it's probably on our lesser controlled motorway sections or lesser monitored, but that's a significant, 25 minutes is a huge improvement. And obviously in detection time, and we've also been getting additional or detecting additional incidents, the ones that we know about as well. And of course this also there's work in pushing this information out through the likes of Waze and so forth. And they've won a couple of awards for it, so it's an exciting project and I'm looking forward to see more of it. This is another one, Dublin City Council have been working with the Luxembourg Institute of Science and Technology. This is close to my heart, but basically the gist of it is, I know a lot of people here probably from local authorities, the general thing when maintaining equipment is it's a reaction. It's not proactive, it's reactive. Something fails, you go and fix it. You maybe swap it out, you do it quickly. What this is about essentially is predicting that failure. And they're working with academia to actually find models that can predict the failure of equipment better. So basically what you do is you end up swapping out the equipment before it fails, so it never does fail. So I'm very interested in this, and I look forward to see what the outcomes of that work is. eCall, we're working with Vesos here. There are a couple of people here from Vesos. This is using eCall data, similar to the Valoran exercise, where we're looking to improve the detection, in this case, of essentially airbag activations that are activated through eCall. And we've worked on a small amount of data for a certain period and have discovered, and aside from the Valoran 25 minutes, we're getting maybe a smaller period, like 5 to 6 minute improvement. But bear in mind, these are serious incidents. This is where an airbag has been activated. So we're actually showing that we can get that information out there to certainly the control center. Obviously, it goes to emergency services separately, but it means that we can take counteractive action 5 or 6 minutes earlier than it's happening. So that's an exciting project, and we're looking to expand on that and turn it into a live demonstration. I'm conscious of the time here. I don't know how much I've got, but I'll keep on going. Another one is Smart Junctions, Future Mobility Campus Ireland, who are based in Shannon. They're a consortium looking at certainly autonomous vehicles, using drones and using AI and other techniques to improve traffic efficiency. They've been working with Clare County Council in Ennis, looking using AI and analytics to improve junction performance. So looking at the signal timing, working out how you can get greater throughput based on the existing traffic, and they've made great improvements there, and are working with Cisco to expand it to not only individual junctions but the entire road section. So that's worth a mention. I'm coming into the final straight there. ITS Ireland, I thought I'd make one mention of that. We also have a what we call ITS for All. I think there's a similar one here, ITS for Women, but this is an inclusive subgroup, if you like, of ITS Ireland for diverse members of ITS Ireland, be they women or whether they're young or from other areas that aren't properly represented. And we just introduced that, and it's actually it's doing really well. It's creating a great impetus, particularly getting young people actually more involved in this area. I think everyone here who's been involved in ITS probably has an individual story of how we ended up here, and certainly the most of us, I'm guessing, never intended to be in this area. So very successful, and actually won an award with the ITS Nationals. Lastly, ITS, the Department of Transport in Ireland are also working on the impact of the European ITS directive. As you're probably aware, there was a 2010 directive. There's now a 2023 directive. There we go. Sorry, I'm having fun with this. And there's a huge impact that we're realising from that directive. If people aren't aware of it, basically what Europe is saying, they're giving us a programme really up until the end of 2030 almost to deliver data or publish data in various data sets in various areas, and there's a schedule of the publishing these particular data sets from the end of this year right through to 2030. So there's a lot of work being done on that with the Department of Transport, with Transport Infrastructure Ireland, the National Transport Authority, and others like the Road Safety Authority in Ireland. So a huge amount of work there up and coming. And to make all this happen, we're also involved in NAPCOR X. And we do have a national access point, but there's a realization that it's probably not fit for purpose. So we're looking to actually create a new one that can deliver all those data sets that have been designated in the ITS directive. So again, a great amount of work there that we're involved in collectively in Ireland, and helping out the Department of Transport to deliver this. So that's a quick tour. As I said at the beginning, if there's any interest, obviously ask a question, I'll see if I can answer it. But also my email address is there, and I can point you to any of those projects or initiatives that you might be interested in. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I believe we have just a couple of minutes now for Steve to come back and do another interrogation of the speaker. Steve.
Thanks very much. Not an interrogation, just a couple of clarifications, really. But perhaps, can we start with that first one about the user perspective? So we've seen an awful lot of detail there, reassuring detail, I guess, about how you're going about things, where you're headed. There's a lot of technical information there. But I'm just wondering, where's the driver in all of the thinking that's created what you're doing?
I think that's on. Yes, it's on. Yes, well, as I mentioned there, the users, we essentially recruited a number of users who were members of the public. We engaged with them as stakeholders. There were a number of questionnaires throughout that project. Lasted, I suppose, the best part of 18 months. And we engaged with them both before, finding out what they were looking for, what would be of interest to them. What I didn't mention there was the use cases we used. It wasn't as extensive as what Darren and Jonathan were saying, so there was a subset of use cases, and we looked to see initially which of these would be useful for them, and also once we kicked it into actually a live system, how did they feel about it? We didn't have the back off ones, but it was more things like roadworks ahead, replicating what the variable message signs were stating, whether the tunnel, the Dublin tunnel was closed, and various items like that, but journey times and so forth, and yeah, through those engagements, as I mentioned, we got a very positive feedback to it, so it was good. We were getting directly to the drivers, which was very useful for us.
Okay, and I just want to tease out a bit. How did you do that? Because one of the things I know from my time at the Transport Department here, and I know it's still a bit of an issue, we've got the AA, we've got the RAC, they've got loads and loads of members, but actually getting to this legendary figure of the motorist and what people actually want is actually quite hard. So could you just tease out for us a bit, how did you go about that?
Well, I'll tell you the way we did it, and basically we put adverts out on the radio looking for users, so on particularly drive time adverts. We also incentivized it as well, because it's one thing to attract the intention, but it's to keep that momentum up for the people to use this system throughout the period of the project. So we had an incentivization thing, so they earn points as they moved on, and they could reclaim some vouchers or whatever at the end of it. So that, I believe, is always a problem with engaging with the users. It's just keeping that engagement going. So I feel it worked quite well. I think we got something like, I think Lee Street might be here, I don't know, but it was a very high figure actually, like 80+%, that carried through the entirety of the project, because that was an important part. You don't want to lose them.
No, I think that's really interesting. I think, and the reason I pick it out is that we're very good in this forum at focusing in on how did you go about this in terms of a technical specification or in terms of an engineering process, and perhaps sometimes a little bit weaker on, where is the actual end user here, and where is the politics on this? Did you have a strong political backing for doing this?
Not in this instance, but I think in order to, I mean, this is just a pilot, so, but to move it on to becoming a live system, we are now engaging with the Department of Transport. Sorry, John McCarthy is from the Department of Transport. We are engaging more with the Department of Transport to get to the point to make this system live, operational, because at the moment the system only works with sample vehicles, those 1,000 users. But what we're now looking to do is actually integrating with what I call real vehicles, Volkswagen and co, which are already fitted out for CITS. So we'll probably need to engage more with the department and on that in the future.
Paul, relax. Only one more question from me, which is one of the things that everyone here wrestles with is there's things that are worth doing, things that people appreciate, but at the end of the day, where is the hard-edged economic business case that in England, in Britain, our friends in the Treasury will be wanting to see? We're going to spend £1 on this. How are you going to reassure us we're going to get £2 back, or €2 back in your case? Has that been part of the development process? Is that something you're leaving to the Transport Department to worry about?
Well, I think the answer is yes. I mean, we haven't got through, I mean, this is, again, just the pilot, but certainly part of the business case from my point of view as Transport Infrastructure Ireland is that by investing in CITS, it means you don't have to deploy as much what I call traditional ITS out there, VMS, ANPR cameras. The cars are doing the monitoring for you. So we haven't gone through the process of working out that business case, but that's where we see it.
There's a business case there to be made.
Yeah.
Okay, well that feels like a good moment for me to hand back.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, David. And in fact, can we hear it from everyone from the morning session, Jonathan, Darren, Steve, David?